Welcome to Doesn't Matter. This one's for the ladies. I hear a lot about the baseline. That's just basic. That's the baseline. Okay, baseline, foundational, same thing, pretty much. Okay, take the foundations out of a building, what happens? What happens? It falls, it collapses. Take the baseline out of everything, anything, a plane, take its foundational fuselage away. What happens? It falls apart. It's just a collection of parts. Take the frame off a car. It's no longer safe or functional. Baseline's important. The baseline for your health allows us to establish what's a safe dosage for medication, what are safe treatment regimes. Baseline's really important. But female vernacular, due to feminist abomination, to the travesty of modern, postmodern feminism, is that it's reduced the baseline to this, like, bare minimum. It's equated it with bare minimum. Trust me, if you were in hospital, the bare minimum to keep being alive would be really important to you. But yet, when it comes to the so-called bare minimum for a relationship, it's like, oh, you just should be doing that. There's no gratitude. There's no appreciation. It's just what you should be doing as a man. I call bullshit. If you weren't in a relationship, you'd be getting no bare minimum. You'd be getting no baseline. You'd be taking care of all of that yourself. If you were with one of your Chad Thundercock super chads, giga chads, who periodically use you, you wouldn't be getting any baseline at all, okay? You'd be getting seduced by the jawline, car, social status, or whatever it is that has hooked you, okay? No baseline, no bare minimum, just exploitation. And then you meet a decent guy who gives you a baseline, and you expect it. You feel entitled to it. No, that's what the relationship requires from the two of you, by the way. A missing element, often. It was what it requires to continue to remain healthy and move forward. And you should be grateful for that, because if your life hasn't shown you already, you don't have to be in a healthy relationship. You don't have to be in a relationship at all. You can just be on a series of situationships. You can continue to be used. Or you can be alone. No baseline, no bare minimum, no entitlement. That's a myth. That's an illusion. Someone gives you the baseline. Someone gives you what you consider to be the bare minimum. They are giving you what you need to be happy. They are giving you what you need and the relationship needs to thrive. Okay? And that is not a small thing. That is not an unimportant thing. And that is not something you're entitled to. That is something you should be grateful for. All men and women should be grateful to each other for providing the baseline of what that relationship needs to survive and thrive. Now, people are going to call all kinds of nuanced caveats about the difference between surviving and thriving. If you can't survive, you're not going to thrive. So once again, if you want to split hairs and differentiate between those two, that's fine. It doesn't make any difference to the argument whatsoever. Thriving requires surviving. It requires you to be in a state of health. And then health allows you to push past the median line into whatever thriving is. I don't tend to separate the two. I don't think there are ordinary moments. I think every moment you're alive and taking breath, even if it's a painful moment, a troubling moment, a challenging moment, is a beautiful moment. There are no ordinary moments. Not everyone shares that perspective. But you still have to have that baseline. It's still essential. And it's not something that you should ever not be grateful for, that you should take for granted. And it has probably been one of the greatest relational catastrophes of modern times, is that people started to consider the baseline, the bare minimum, a small thing, a thing that they didn't need to be grateful for. It's quite the opposite. Again, you don't need to be with anyone. You could be with no one, and many of you will be with no one for periods of your life. And then you will be with people who do not appreciate you or provide even that baseline. That should be an indicator, if we're a little more evolved than we are, that the baseline's important and it's not as common as you might think. Appreciate it. Be grateful for it. Never stop being grateful for it. It doesn't mean you can't push for greater things. It doesn't mean you can't evolve together. Remember, together, not on your own, pushing together, consensually. If you do that, it's only going to be from the basis of that bare minimum. Be kind. Be grateful, most of all. Okay? To us fellas who have to try and meet this bare minimum. And recognize that within yourself, that minimum has to be met as well. And the bare minimum for men and women is not the same. But that's for another video. Oos.